Hello and welcome to the Den. I have come here to present my pain and suffering of doing master clues for 10 hours, all in hopes to make my 10 hours of my other clue videos easier, and hopefully getting the treasure trail points to unlock the almighty Globetrotter. Also, I'm preparing for leagues, and clues are definitely one of my weaknesses on RuneScape 3, and I know they are going to be a fairly big part of leagues, like they were for Old School. I was also trying to cover some moneymakers that weren't on the wiki, but God forbid higher clue scrolls were just added. You've got to be shitting me. Anyways, let's pounce right into it. God, that felt cringy. Please do not let me do that again. I'm just trying to make more tiger themed things. Anyways, let's carry on. Let's get into the video.
Hey, listen!
So in the description of this video, everything that I found useful during the making of this video will be included, which are the following. Starting off is the fantastic Clue Chaser Discord, which will have every single resource you could possibly need related to clues in this game. Such a fantastic Discord. I will also include some presets for the endgame players, the world record for No Skips by Omid, that is a neat video. Record's roughly 30 masters an hour, by the way, and some Alt1 plugins. I briefly want to just say that if you're doing clues, Alt1 plus the Clue Trainer add-on is a must nowadays. The basic Alt1 plugin is fine, but the Clue Trainer is quite a bit better, so all of that will be linked below for your convenience and my convenience for me when I try to do this in the future and I have goldfish brain and I will just forget everything I've learned in this video. Lastly is, how do you get master clues? TLDR, do hards, elites, and Tetras. That's it. Now let's get into the hour breakdown. Okay, so the first thing I want to show is how many clues I was doing per hour over the 10 hours, and then dig into each hour a little bit more. So here is this lovely low quality graph, and if you're wondering what happened hour 6, I asked the same question. So I went back and reviewed my recording, and I just straight up only did 30 minutes. I typically do an hour at a time based on the time of an aura, and I just used a 30-minute aura, it seems, so this will technically be loot from 9.5 hours, so GG, got your ass, clickbaited, whatever you needed, but let's get into the first hour. The first hour, I just wanted to do a very newbie setup. This is something I typically do in my videos, but I wanted to do a non-min-max setup that you will see me use later on in this video, but I just wanted to go about it very casually. With masters requiring pretty high skills overall, I did allow myself some things that anyone at this stage of the game should have, but I was not doing anything crazy. I just wanted to give a very good baseline for any players coming into Masters, so minimal teleports and just using necromancy, lower tier gear, and this was my very first hour of learning Masters. So if this is also your first time doing Masters and have no Globetrotter, you can expect about 6 clues an hour based on my first hour, given I do have all the hidey holes filled, which I do highly recommend if you are going to get into Masters. Hour 2 is a lot more min-maxed, adding quite a few improvements before starting the second hour. The first one I want to call out is you can unlock a gnome that gets added to the gnome glider network that significantly increases the speed for 1 step. I had no idea this was a thing, so another one of those clues teaching me things about the game I didn't know I needed after walking my ass to this specific step. There's other small things, such as changing the max guild teleport to outside the max guild instead of inside of it, making sure I had lunars as well, and adding some things to my ability bar, and getting the quest cape. Yes, I got the quest cape for Masters because it has some useful teleports. I have been 200 mil all skills for years, since way back when. And I've never really had an interest in quests because they just never gave anything that was rewarding, and I had Comp Cape 10 years ago, so I've like satisfied everything on my list, and just when new quests came out, I didn't have a reason to do them, so yeah, I got the quest cape. Small progress, I guess, if I ever go for Trems. Anyways, the second hour did end up going pretty quick with 12 clues completed, with those small improvements, actually doubling the amount of clues I did over the first one. But still a lot to get better at. There's so much small shit I still suck at this point, like finding emotes in the emote list. I am bad, and I just randomly teleport away from clues that I'm not done with. Also thinking I had all the hidey holes filled, but actually missing one somehow. But I did get back-to-back steps, so that was pretty dope. Hour 3, there's no real huge changes. I just made some very small changes to my preset and got up to 14 clues an hour. Hour 4, I did buy my first Globetrotter outfit from Masters, which I was pretty hyped for. Slowly getting to see those points coming in from completing these Masters. This is where I might admit I think I started having fun, strangely enough. I was seeing I was improving and started seeing the fruits of my labor with now only 2 parts left to get to have the full outfit. Ended up finishing with 17 clues that hour. Hour 5 actually had my first facet of luck proc, actually giving me an extra master casket, which was pretty cool. It's also nice to see my 400 mil investment finally paying for itself. And I finished with 20 caskets or 19 total clues finished that hour. Hour 6, as I explained earlier, was actually the 30-minute hour, not a full hour. But anyways, I did complete 9 in those 30 minutes, so it was on track to be a pretty good hour. Also, I finally got enough points for another piece of the Globetrotter outfit, meaning I only have one piece left. So excited for that. Hour 7 was just a bad hour, only completing 15 clues. Totally had nothing to do with me grabbing an easy clue from the bank. And then proceeding to try and solve the master clue step and thinking the game was bugged, hopping and whining about it before I realized I'm just an idiot and I had an easy clue scroll in my inventory the whole time. Going into hour 8, I finally got enough to buy the full Globetrotter, and you can hear my reaction here. Full Globetrotter finally finished. Yeah, based on that reaction, you may not actually believe it, but I was actually incredibly stoked. Maybe relieved, honestly, is a better way to describe it. I was just so happy to finally have it, like what I've been working towards this whole time. I was just super excited. This is also a trim comp requirement, so this does low-key make me feel more pressure to get trimmed. But anyways, I was just super excited to see how big of an improvement this would be for my clues completed an hour. You will see that when I first got it, I was still trying to grab things from hidey holes and such, so it was kind of hard breaking those old habits that I had of physically grabbing things out of hidey hole, and honestly, that's the biggest quality of life out of this whole outfit, is just not have to unequip everything when you're doing a specific task. So super happy for Globetrotter. Anyways, I did finish with 22 caskets, but 21 clues completed, as I did get a facet proc, which did become my new PB, and not for spoils or anything, but I don't really surpass this. I get close, but I don't get over 21. But it is a pretty big improvement over the 15 hour I had before. Hour 9 was a very normal, chill hour, and I only did 20 clues that hour. Now going into hour 10, we have our final hour, which honestly, I was kind of in the mood to just keep going and finish all the rest of my caskets, but I got things to do and I got to prep for leagues, so we'll definitely have to finish up the rest of my master clues at some time in the future. I did finish with 20 clues completed again, so never really did get past the 21 clues an hour, and I didn't actually get quite as high as I was expecting with Globetrotter. But I am confident I can get to the 24, 25 clue range with practice. So, the end results. I did get a total of 155 caskets, and I did do 152 total clues, as I did get 3 facet procs over the 10 hours. I did go ahead and loot all of those. I know some people like to watch openings, but I am just going to do a highlight of any of the broadcasts or big loot I got. So I did end up getting 2 broadcasts. The first one was the backstab cape, which caught me completely off guard. And I will explain why this is kind of a troll drop. So this is a 1 in 3k drop rate, but is absolutely worthless outside of a fortunate component. And then the next broadcast I got was the Sack of Effigies, which is another rest in peace, which is even rarer than the backstab cape. It is a 1 in almost 6,000 drop rate for master clues, and it is also worthless in comparison to the third age die that this rolled for. So both of these are actual misses for the third age die, as a failed roll will then go to a Sack of Effigies and then a backstab cape and then a full Triskelion key. So sadly, I didn't get any more broadcasts, but I guess some broadcast is better than no broadcast. But on to the other loot. Starting off, I had a collection log of 26 of the 65 in the master clue log and a bank value of 9.1 bill, and I had a ending bank value of 9.4 bill, so that works out to the total loot being worth 333 mil, or about 2.1 mil per casket. Of that loot, 71 mil or so came from fort components related to the clue items. Almost 175 mil came from kits with 4 souls, which is the most expensive, and 1 reaper. 4.2 mil came from the effigy and backstab cape, and then the rest, the 82 or so mil, came from commons and other loot, such as like the elemental battle staff, which is worth a little bit more than a fortunate component. In case I have someone that's watching my content that does not know what fort components are, they stand for fortunate components, and it's from the invention process of breaking down clue components, and it's used to make 2 things with invention specifically: the alchemical onyx, which is used to make things like Grace of the Elves, Luck of the Dwarves, and the alchemical hydrix, which is used to make Essence of Finality and Brooch of the Gods. Which is why clues are worth so much, because these items will always have a use case. I do also want to touch on treasure trail points, as masters grant 20 points for each clue over a 500 clue completion cycle, as you do get bonuses for specific thresholds, and I earned 3,000 points roughly overall doing these clues, as I did get enough to buy the Globe Trouter outfit and unlimited clue capacity upgrade, which is essentially everything I'd want from it. So what does that work out per hour? For me, when I did the newbie setup, that would have been 12 mil an hour and 120 treasure trail points at the rate of 6 masters completed an hour. My best without the full Globe Trouter outfit would have been 35.7 mil an hour, 340 treasure trail points at 17 masters an hour, and my best overall with everything unlocked was 21 clues an hour, which works out to 44.1 mil and 420 treasure trail points an hour. If you were curious, 30 masters, the world record, an hour works out to 63 mil and 600 treasure trail points an hour if you are someone like Omid. This is all without the die drop or the Orlando's hat drop, which obviously would significantly increase these numbers, but I did get spooned on the kits, so you may not get lucky there, but you could get a die. Anyways though, over my 10 hours, I made 33.3 mil an hour, making it the 7th best moneymaker I have made a loot from 10 hour video on. Did you guys enjoy this video? I'm still playing around with how I want to create these type of videos, so please let me know if you enjoy the hour by hour breakdown, or just skip all that and just get straight into the loot. Anyways, see you guys on leagues if you guys are doing leagues. Anyways, till next time, bye.